Welcome to the Healing S.E.A.T with Busisiwe Mohapi. I'm using a different phone. Hey, yeah, challenges, but everything will be fine. God will bless us with a new camera, ne? Yeah, for just content creation. For now, excuse me, we use what we have. So let us get into it without wasting any time. This episode is called Triangulation, Exposure, and that was my life. The reason why I've decided to speak about this today, there's something that I had planned to speak about, but I think I'm not ready. I will be ready maybe tomorrow. Let's try tomorrow. Today I'm triggered. So again, this is episode 19, and thank you for coming through, pulling up your chair and holding the space and sitting in the story. So don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe. If we grow, we are almost 90 and we have to be 1,000. That's the goal, but it's baby steps for now. Please, if you can, please share. So let us get into it. So when a man decides he no longer loves you, he won't say it with his words. He will say it using his actions, his silence, his exposure, and absence. That's how you'll actually see that this person does not love me anymore. And sometimes with another woman. And I don't know why as women we ignore all these things, hey? You can see that someone doesn't love you anymore, but you will be excusing it, saying that maybe it's Muti, maybe it's the other woman, she's forcing things. You'll be giving it all these other reasons. So one of the reasons why I never called Uji, remember we spoke about Uji, no S. Uji lived in Durban and US lived here in Alberton. So the reason why I never called any of them, even I was a wife, it's because I felt that the issue or the problem was with my husband, not with these women. So I needed to talk it out with him and not these women because he approached them. So yeah, it takes two to tango. You can't pretend like your husband or your boyfriend didn't decide to participate in all of this. Futinje, you found that he's the initiator. He's the one who started everything. So so his words, his actions, and the silence showed me that this person actually hated me. But because I didn't know anything about triangulation, I didn't know anything about narcissism, I only found out about all of this after, when I tried to find out why was this person treating me like this. And I wrote down the list of the things that they used to do, and I found out that he's a textbook narcissist. Yeah, that's how I found out. So yeah, let us talk about the first thing that he was doing. We will talk about the triangulation. I want us to talk about what I was facing at the time in that 11 months of hell. The polygamy announcement. So you remember, after I had confronted him about Uji, he was no longer hiding Uji. He told me Uji was the third woman that he had paid lobola to before me. So that was basically his wife. I was just the legal wife because I had signed everything. So now Uji was no longer hidden now. Whenever he came back from work, he would talk to Uji in the car. I would see that he's happy, he's smiling. But immediately when he got into the house, the mood would change. From his face, attitude, everything will show me that he's not interested. So again, now he also told me, remember, what he'll go back to G's parents and pay lobola again. And maybe you're asking yourself, why didn't my parents call him? They tried. When someone is toxic to the core, they don't care about your parents, they don't care about the church, they do not submit to any authority. So that was my husband for you. I remember this one time, I told my parents, I said, enough is enough. I've been telling my mother-in-law she's not doing anything. I told my parents and they tried to call him, and he gave me a warning. He said, if we are if you continue with this thing with your parents of pestering me to come to a meeting, and I believed him, not only because he knew that I'm scared that he would leave me. I was needy. I was scared of everything that he was doing to me, but I was scared that this is a fairly new marriage, say apology, just like that. So he knew my fears. So when he said that, I told my parents, guys, stop calling him. It's okay. I was scared of him in a way. Because remember, this is my abuser. He abuses me emotionally. So when he threatens me, I would actually listen. So the second thing now, because he was no longer hiding Uchi, the pictures, the WhatsApp statuses, I was checking his phone. Yes, there would be pictures of him, no G there. There would be pictures of S, mostly because those were the two people that he was dealing with outside our marriage. There were other people, gay ladies, who were just sending pictures. Some you could see that he got them from the internet, Yeah. So yeah. I would see them in park dates. They were kissing in the photos, and I wouldn't confront him because now with this thing, you don't open a man's phone. And also at this thing, now that I've found out, I've seen the pictures. What is the next step? So I never confronted him. I would see them, send myself some of the pictures. I would email them to myself. You need proof. So yeah, public happiness with her, I would see it. And I had never been his profile picture. Do you know that? But Uji was. Not only Uji, now and then it would change. It would be Uji on the profile picture. Sometimes it's himself. Sometimes it's the daughter. Sometimes it's Uji with her child, which was not his. And also sometimes Uji with his daughter and Uji's daughter, to show that there's a relationship going on there. It's continuous, and he was showing me that the daughter is also approving of the relationship. So that was another way of me being triangled and triangulation. And I didn't ask anything, but I kept quiet. I don't know why. I just, that is why I think I was also depressed, because I would see these things. It was the behavior that was toxic in the house, the silent treatment, being intimate when he only wants to, but Mina, when I want, he doesn't do it. So it was the mind games, the gaslighting. It was a lot. So yeah, she was no longer being hidden. She would put her on the WhatsApp statuses, would put her as profile pictures, and I would see that. So they were on display. Mina was never put as a profile picture. My son was never put. So he was not only triangulating me, but my son as well. I don't care about you two. This is my new family now. This is the people that I care about. So narcissists are like that. They will use anything and anyone to make you jealous and actually make you feel like you're nothing. So the other thing, was the sexual addiction. Like, I told you, the tablets that I would see half naked women or naked women there. And there was this men's clinic issue too. I think you understand when I say the men's clinic issue. So the pattern is clear. There was sexual impulse and relationship respect. So again, it was what it was. And the fourth one, the miscarriage and being left alone. Remember, I had just lost a child. I was grieving the child alone. He didn't care. And just not, maybe after a week I'd lost the child, he said he's going to Durban. So when someone says he's going to Durban and they have a sneaky leak there and they're no longer hiding this person, then so he left me alone in the house. I was used to it. Very most of the time I was alone. Remember, we brought the kids he took his child, I also took mine at home, and it was just the two of us. So whenever he was not around, I was alone. So this one time I'm there, I'm washing dishes, then I feel an urge to push, and as I push and say, flesh comes out, like as in like something like you can see that this it's a part of something that was inside me. Came out, and I took a picture, sent him the picture. No empathy, no care at all. He just said, you need to see someone. And what is that? I said, I don't know, but it looks like something was left inside me when they cleaned me at the public hospital. So if you remember quite, if you know Ikatlehong and Esbedlela, where they call it Esbedlela, there's a place they called, it was Natal Hospital. That's where the old hospital was. So in 2014, it moved to Vosloorus, where we have Itele Mokwerane there. So it was fairly new, and I had done the procedure here. A Natal Hospital. So it meant that I had a file. So I went to a Vosloorus. Remember, there was no medical aid, and I was using hospitals. So the trauma is still there. I was cleaned. It was painful. I told you that it would be 20 people. They would inject all of us for the pain. Then they go back and start with that person. So by the time they get to you, you are feeling excruciating pain. You must lie still. I don't wish anyone to go through that. I think that is why in private hospitals in Lisa and do the procedure under anesthesia, and then that's it. Tina, you feel everything in the public hospital. So yeah, now it meant that when I got to the hospital and I showed them the picture of what came out, they admitted me and said, you have to sleep. The hospital was fairly new. So in Vosloorus, my mother-in-law's place is in Vosloorus. So when you are there, it's Mokhwerane, E28 is not far, it's a walking distance. Remember when I was at Natal Spruit for a weekend after I lost the child, no one from the family came to see me except my husband. So now he's in Durban, I'm alone, no support from the in-laws, nothing. So the pain was just double. The family is not supporting me. It was as if they are happy that I lost this child. He's not supporting me. He said, Mina, I'm in Durban, what must I do? I just said, whatever you think is best for you, do that. So he stayed there, meaning that I had to fetch my sister once again. Mdase, my pillar. Yeah. I went and fetched my little sister, and we went to the hospital. And at the time, she didn't know how to drive. So I drove myself. She left me there. The car was safe, and it meant that when I was discharged, because they told me you'll be discharged the next day. So after I was discharged, I drove myself home. And that's also where I met a friend, Ntombi. Behind Ntombi, I'm going to send her this episode. So we spoke, and she told me her challenges. She had also lost a child, and we spoke about this, how painful it was, how much we wanted these kids, and all of that. So I met her there. So Mina, talking to strangers healed me a lot. It meant that you don't know me. I tell you my business today, maybe tomorrow you would have forgotten. It would take off that heavy thing on my shoulders. So telling Dombi, that's when we exchange digits, and we are still in contact now and then. Not every time, but we do talk. So the fifth point, the point of the story is to show how narcissists abandon you emotionally first, and then they will abandon you physically. You are still holding on when you are still counting the years, you are still believing the love will come back, you are still saying, hey, maybe they've bewitched him, or maybe he wants to do this, but it's his family. You will be coming with excuses for him. But before they show you physically, they show you emotional, they de-attach from you. As soon as they get someone who will take over from you, I'm telling you, you are done. So he was already gone emotionally. He had left me a long time ago when he stopped coming to the morning and evening devotions as a family where we used to pray together. So the only one who was holding on to the timeline was Mina. I was holding on. So let us get into the definition of a triangulation. Triangulation is a manipulation tactic used by narcissists to create a rivalry so that you have enemies, and confusion and emotional chaos between people. You will hate that woman that he's triangulating with. You will hate that PA like me, Ulirato, that was being a PA. You will hate everything and anything because it's used to abuse you emotionally. So you'll be competing with people, and usually to maintain control or avoid accountability. In simple terms, they bring a third person to mess up with your mind. It can be someone they work with. They will always be saying, hey, Jesus Banban, does this better. Or they will say that, when I used to date Banban, she used to wash my clothes. They will use anything and everything. Or the job that I used to, anything. So again, this is done to mess up with your mind. They make you feel like you're competing for love, attention, and value. So if they're your friend, they'll be telling you about this friend who was always gifting them with something, and when you don't give them gifts, they will always make you to compete for their love, their attention, and for their value, even though you never signed up for a competition. So they bayakufaka nje, whether you like it or not. So my personal example is, like I said, the WhatsApp profile pictures. The PA would be used to do that. He had a business partner. Her name started with P, and he would also use her, Uguti. She started a business like this, so to make me feel less worthy because I was selling clothes and I was selling books. So that's what they do. So other signs of triangulation. I was never the profile picture. My son was never the profile picture, but suddenly she was everywhere. Ukuku was in the gallery. She was using the WhatsApp, what. She was on Facebook. He blocked me very a long time ago. So again, they had their park photos, they were kissing, all of those things was on display. That was not love, that is triangulation. It's a psychological warfare. You are fighting with people you don't know. Some of them, you know them. It is done purposely. It's a tactic to make you jealous. So what are other signs of triangulation? You are compared to an ex or friend to make you insecure. They bring up what other women do. Other women are buying curtains. Other women are buying cars. He will make you feel, or if it's a friend or whoever it is who is a narcissist, they will make you feel less of a person by comparing you to other people. And then running to someone else during a conflict just to punish you, especially if they know that you don't like that person. They run to the very same people that they know you do not like, so that you will feel some other way. So they are doing it to punish you. They use children to play emotional games between parents. Like I said, my son was not used as a profile picture, but his child would be used, and Uji's child, who was not his child. So it was clear with my child and Nami were not important. They will flaunt their supply to hurt you. Yeah, that's the new supply. They've just gotten someone new to make you jealous with. So here are the 5 questions of reflection on my side. Have you ever found yourself competing for love in a relationship you were already in? Yes, I've found myself. Once I knew it, it was easy to use it in another relationship. Kanjan, if someone is triangulating me, I would call it out as soon as possible. This is what you're trying to do and it won't work. But when I didn't know it with my husband, it was used against me and it worked. I've seen it also in friendships. It's bad. So did someone ever use social media to make you feel replaceable? Yes, that was done to me. I've shared it with you. Have you ever eschewed emotional abuse because you were counting the years? Yes. We've been dating for so many years. This, counting is men, when they want to leave, they don't count years. They don't care how many kids you have. When it's time to leave, they leave. And then, have you ever gone through something traumatic and the person who was supposed to love you didn't even check on you? Yes, I told you I was pregnant. He was in China. He didn't care whether the child and I are okay. I lost the child. He didn't care. I went to the hospital for the second time and experienced those feelings of miscarrying. He didn't care. The fifth one, do you think you know what triangulation looks like in your own life now? Definitely, I can smell it from afar. I know when someone is trying to triangulate me, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a relationship, whether someone close to me is doing it, I can see it. And or I call it out. So here are the, now these are for you. No, actually, the ones that I was reading, guys, are for you. Now, these ones are for me. Why did I keep checking his phone even after I already knew the truth? I couldn't hold myself. The behavior was showing me, and I needed to. I thought by looking at the pictures and or checking, going through the phone, the pain will be too much for me, and it will lead me to leaving. But instead, it caused more pain, and I stayed, and I didn't even hold him accountable for all those things. So yeah, it was just self-taught. What was I hoping he would say when I sent him that photo? Um, I hope that he would leave everything where he was and run or drive here and drive from Durban and say, baby, I'm here for you no matter what. This was my child. We will try again. You know, all those things that a husband is supposed to say, but none of that happened. How did I survive the loneliness of the hospital moment? By making that new friend that I spoke about, by crying to God, and asking, what is this? What is going on? That's how I faced it head on. There was nothing I could do. And what would I say to the version of me who was still counting the years? I would say, forget the years. Forget the months, forget that there are children. If you are abused, leave that situation. It's not when, if we turn the things around, he will leave when he has to leave. So listen, do yourself a favor. Do not stay because you are counting Guti. We've been dating for 10 years. We've been dating for 5 years. That doesn't matter. When you are not treated well, you should love yourself enough. I mean, I realize that the problem is the self-esteem, the me not loving myself enough to say this is nonsense and leave, and staying although you can see someone is abusing you. That was my problem. So what does being chosen look like to me now? Ooh, it looks differently. It starts with me choosing myself. That's where it starts. And whoever is choosing me will do whatever they can to win me. But I don't anymore. You show me flames, I go the other way. Yeah, I do not stay. So let me repeat those 5 questions that are for you. I thought for me. Have you ever found yourself competing for love in a relationship you're already in? Secondly, did someone ever use social media to make you feel replaceable? Thirdly, have you ever excused emotional abuse because you were counting the years? Number 4, have you gone through something traumatic and the person who was supposed to love you didn't check on you? And the last one, do you think you know what triangulation looks like in your own life? Those are your questions. So with that being said, and this is now the ending of the today's episode. Sis, you are not crazy and you are not dramatic. You were being emotionally starved. This is what I want you to know. You are not asking for too much. And yeah, you are being publicly replaced. So this story is for you. Yeah, and it proves that you survived it. If I survived it, you can. And if you are in it, you do not have to stay any minute longer in it. See it for what it is. Yeah, open your eyes and say, it is what it is. Whatever that you're feeling, whatever your intuition is telling you, the messages that you've seen on that phone, the pictures of other women that you've seen in that phone. Those are just, it's something that is saying to you, how much do you love yourself? How much do you value you? You might stay and waste 10 years of your life, 5 years of your life. But at the end, you would have wasted time. Sit down with it, pray, and God will give you an answer. So the teaser for the next episode, which is episode 20, is that, I might be ready to talk about what I said I'm not ready to talk about. With that being said, God bless you. And please learn from me, from my mistakes. And until next time, ciao.